The MCG, it is Spud's game, and this is the embodiment of what we've been talking about all week. It's Harry Mackay, who's had his own personal struggles, spoke so bravely about it a couple of weeks ago with his brother on his own podcast, and is the embodiment of what the message is tonight. You don't carry it alone, and he was out playing footy a couple of weeks ago, and he was the best player on the ground in front of 60 or 70,000 people here at the MCG against the Cats, and it's a great story, Harry Mackay, and Michael Voss, the coach of the Carlton Footy Club, who's made his way up here. We're very appreciative of that. Always, Vossy, you make the time and effort for us, and you must be so proud of Harry to see the way that he's been able to come through.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. I think what we're all sort of been or admiring is the open and honesty, and he's been prepared to talk about it, and as you said, never walk alone, and he's been able to share what his struggles have been, and he's been able to sort of work through some of those look like, and it's, it's never a on fixed moment. It's just to be something to be continually working on, but I think the feedback that we've got, and certainly he's got, that it's it's impacted a lot of people.
One of the things that he mentioned in a post-match interview was about enjoying his footy, having fun. I'm pretty sure that wasn't something that Lethal was running back in the day. But how do you do that? How do you include that in your environment in terms of bringing that fun element into prep?
Oh, there's always moments of light and dark. We have to. The dark is about how we concentrate on the task at hand, the role you get given, and what we have to execute on game day, and that's the performance element of what we do. And then there's the light, which is about the enjoyment and how you spend time together and connecting with your teammates and really sort of buy into that mateship. And we go out there together and we have that shared responsibility. And and that's what we sort of try to obviously have in an environment, is always that level of focus, but then also that moment where you have to sort of step back and relax a little bit.
But there is a brutal reality around what you need to do around a contest, and when you perform it, when your midfield and everyone on the periphery performs that's when you win games of footy. What are we going to expect with that tonight?
I hope a response from last week, because we're anything but that last week. So we let ourselves down, and you do have to sort of probably take a bit more of the body of work that's completed over the 7 days, because that's the one area I reckon we've been quite reliable on. But we've let ourselves down in that particular game, and it's hard to comment then on the game because every phase breaks down. Every moment doesn't seem to go your way, and it's really hard to dissect the game when it really started at the coalface.
Yep. How much is effort compared to strategy, say, especially around the centre bounce where you got smashed around there?
Well, it's a bit of both. It's also having some humility when it's not going your way to be able to work from a body. And it seemed like no matter what we did, we sort of got owned. It seemed like to be one of those days, and we're always working from a negative base and negative territory, so it made it really hard work, and it puts stress in every phase. So, look, you can't wash over it. You've still got to have those type accountable conversations, because ultimately our vision is to become that winning side that plays no matter where we play and who we play against.
Do you get out amongst them this week and rough them up a bit?
I'm pretty settled out, Brady. The knees are gone for me to be able to do that. Mate, there's no bring mouth guards here, mate. I think I might be the one that gets knocked out.
In terms of dissecting the game, St Kilda Fremantle last week, they put a lot of numbers around the contest. What have you gone to work about that, and how do you try to counteract that if that happens again, which most likely it will tonight?
Well, that'll be their choice if they do. So it's just probably how we thrive in it, and then how do we maximise our opportunities to clear the area and get from the inside to the outside. You're right, it was a lot of density around the ball. We sort of know their style. We're pretty good in that space, so we expect a lot of pressure around the ball, but we also expect them to defend really well. They'll get numbers in front of Charlie. They'll support their defence and then try and get some speed off it. So there's a few phases we need to take care of, but off the back of last week, there's just so much we have to get right about ourselves to be able to try and challenge St Kilda in a few spaces.
So you're getting it in there okay, you're moving the ball really well from your back half to the front half, but bang for buck, not quite getting there at the moment once you get it in. What needs to improve?
That's constant work on. It feels like that final kick or that final piece of play where the connection needs to build. Look, in the last 3 weeks, it's been market improvement in terms of what we're doing and what we're producing in that space. So we didn't really give ourselves a chance last week at all in the territory game. So again, that's a bit hard to comment, but it's still an area to work on. Having Harry down there and Charlie together makes a difference. Complementing them with the small forwards down there will certainly help us.
Down the other end, Jack Silvani, he's been brilliant in that role. You've missed him for a couple of weeks, coming back. He just complements Jacob Wiedering really well too, doesn't he?
Yeah, it does. It sort of enables, teams got a fair bit of work on Jacob and what sort of play back shoulder on him at times, but that probably strategy worked more than what it does now because he's got him behind him. So I guess Weeders can probably position himself where he wants to and determine where he sets up the field and how he wants to set up the field, which is a huge advantage for us. And because we know no one's going to want to leave Weeders just standing there long down the line, and they want to take that off him. Whereas Jack's been able to manage the other player or the depth of the field if we need to at different times, but if we need to go down that path tactically.
Hey, mate, good luck. You're
Cheers.
a very good man coming up here and doing this for
No
us.
worries, guys.
We do appreciate it.
All the best. Enjoy
Michael
the night.
Voss, coach
All
of
the
the
best.
Carlton Footy Club, bounced the ball not